Clarke and you're watching Sporting Icons.
Now, obviously, I'm at ringside watching Stephen stop Nick Campbell. So, of course, I wouldn't have heard and seen Frazer Clarke saying what he said, which is that if he fought either Nick Campbell or Stephen Robinson based on that performance, then there's levels and he'll knock him out. Now, firstly, Stephen Robinson and Frazer Clarke, they know each other. Okay, they've sparred and they get on well. And it wasn't long ago in Portugal, these guys were sparring each other while they're both out there on holiday. So could Frazer Clarke have worded it a little differently? Yeah, maybe. And I spoke with Stephen about it as well. And Stephen understands, he's supposed to say that. Frazer Clarke is supposed to say he's going to knock me out. He's supposed to say he's way above me on every level. He's supposed to say that. I don't mind. Okay. But as for him knocking Stephen out, would that happen? No, he wouldn't knock Stephen out. He wouldn't. Frazer Clarke knows he wouldn't knock out Stephen. He wouldn't. Outboxing, beat him on points? Yeah, quite possibly. Because there's only two scenarios if that fight was to happen. Frazer Clarke on points or Stephen Robinson on knockout. That's the only two outcomes of that fight. Stephen would not outbox Frazer Clarke and Frazer Clarke would not knock out Stephen Robinson. They both know that. And that's what Stephen said to me as well. So, yeah, I think Frazer Clarke could have worded it a little differently. And I think if he looks back on it, yeah. Now, pick up to TKV, Jamie TKV, because he came to the defense of Nick Campbell and Stephen Robinson by telling Frazer Clarke, why don't you do like a little bit more fighting? Because you seem to be at all the shows, maybe a little less talking, a little more fighting. Is something building up between them two? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But as far as the fight with Frazer Clarke and Stephen Robinson, I understand Frazer Clarke's response. He's pretty much telling Sky Sports no, okay, because he wants to be fast tracked. He's an Olympian, been a outstanding amateur for a long time. He wants to be fast tracked. He's looking at the likes of the British champion Fabio Wardley in that. That's what he's looking at within the next couple of fights. Now, would Stephen Robinson be his toughest test on paper as a professional? Yes, of course he would. But that's not what he's looking at. He's looking at the Fabio Wardleys in that. That's what he's looking at. He ain't looking at Steve Robinson. It would be a silly fight. It would be. It'll be a fight. If a Frazer Clarke was to win, people go, well, you're supposed to win. Of course you are. What a pointless fight. But if he loses, if Stephen knocks him out, which is a very real chance that he would, well, what happens then? Sky Sports put all this money into Frazer Clarke, then what? Frazer Clarke's career, people go, what? You lost to Stephen Robinson? Well, because a lot of people don't know about Stephen Robinson. They don't know about him. All they really know is the bits that they see on Fight Night once in a while. They don't know that Stephen is actually much better than what it is that he shows on Fight Night most of the time. He actually is. But Frazer Clarke knows this. It's a very, very high risk, very, very low reward. He'll get no credit for beating Stephen. He wouldn't. And if he was to lose to Stephen, almost career over. Any thoughts of a British title going on to world title, way on the back burner. Way on the back burner. His reputation will take a massive hit. So he's telling Sky Sports, don't be mentioning me and Stephen. Don't be mentioning me and Nick Campbell. Don't be mentioning me and these kind of guys. Mention me and Fabio Wardley. That's what he's telling them. Frazer Clarke knows that. Of course he does. But anyway, it is what it is. Stephen says he has no hard feelings about Frazer Clarke, and he understood exactly what it was that he was telling him, or telling Sky Sports. Because he is levels above. Of course he is. He's an Olympian. Would he knock out Stephen? No. Frazer Clarke knows he wouldn't knock out Stephen. It wouldn't happen. It would go 8 rounds, 10 rounds, whatever. Frazer Clarke on points, or Stephen would knock him out. Anyway, my thoughts. Drop me yours. Click thumbs up, subscribe. Catch you next video.